I'm about to shoot you.
I know that.
I'm going to get shot. Yeah, we're going to duck the weeds and follow the weeds and move up the way.
I do know how to do that.
In the last 76 hours, we made over $4,326 by trading.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Monday morning. Early morning crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here from Los Angeles, California. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule for being here. I am back home in California from our weekend trip in Chicago. Type in the chat box where you're listening in from. We've got Gina Ray. Good morning. Quincy. Miss Shayna. Tony Pinkston. Michael Williams. Latifa. Nicholas. Robert Brown. Rohan. Darnell from the OKC. Jonna Jones from Ohio. Ray Fountain. Andrea. She was at the airport with me last night. Barbara from Vallejo, California. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinions, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. Good morning, Court. Stan Williams, make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you are listening in on YouTube. Justice LeBron, Melinda McAdams, Antoinette from Delaware. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space to have success. Rule number 1, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number 2, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. And rule number 4, where do you see yourself in 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you willing to do to make it happen? Find a vehicle, make a decision, take action, and stay focused. Do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you in this space. You have limited resources. Now, this is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least minimize your risk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most that we can ask for. So let me go ahead and get screen share set up. All right, so you should be able to see my screen by now. The market's been acting funny for the past week. And it did something else again this weekend while I was traveling. Bitcoin market cap establishes a new 13-month low. So this is the lowest it's been since October of last year. So what's going on? What's taking place? Let's read and I'll give my own comments and thoughts as to why. Let me put this link in the chat box, though. All right. We got a question there. Quincy, am I wrong for having majority of your bag in Ripple? There is no right or wrong on that. It's just whatever your own personal goals are. What are you trying to do? Short term and long term. I mean, Ripple is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Neither is Ethereum. Neither is Bitcoin. So it just depends on your strategy and when you decide to sell. So let's go to, I want to cover first. Yeah, Bitcoin market cap establishes new 13-month low, drops to 92.53 billion. So before we go do that, we always go to coin market cap. And coin market cap is going to tell us a story. So let's see what in the world? 168 billion. Just less than 2 weeks ago, that was 222 billion. So since the last crypto talk I did, which was, what day was that? Friday? I think it was Friday, Thursday or Friday. It was at 184 billion, which was still a $22 billion drop from earlier in the week. Bitcoin dominance is at 52.9%. So that stayed the same. So this loss of volume wasn't in just one coin. It was in the entire market. So I can tell, when you read this chart, it's telling you a story. So just by looking at those numbers, I can see the story before I look at any more details. Let's go get some details here. Bitcoin is down to $5,100. The last time it got that low, last year. Down 8%. Ripple's down 3%, but Ripple is still holding on to the number 2 spot by now, 3 billion. Ripple and Ethereum were always neck and neck by $1 billion or less. Now it's a 3 billion, which means that Ripple is not suffering as much, and Ethereum double-digit losses, negative 11%. Bitcoin Cash down 8%, which is surprising. Actually, no, it's not surprising because of the fork that took place. So it was down 8%. Stellar down 8%. EOS double-digit. Litecoin double-digit. Tether's in the green. A little barely, but it is back up to 99 cents, which means I can't tell. This doesn't look right unless there's a reversal's taking place. Yeah, okay, I see it. It's starting to flatten out a bit. So people are now taking their money out of Tether and putting it back in. So I think they believe that the new low has hit this $5,100 mark. Let me pull up one of the exchanges. Can't pull up Polonius, it's going to make me log in. Let's pull up Cryptopia or something. That doesn't have enough volume. I'd rather have Binance. Let me take a quick look. $34, $34, $72, BTC, 2 USD, 2 BTC. Hmm. 15 minutes, 1 day. It's kind of flattened a bit, but it could still go much lower. Last price, 51.30. The 24-hour high. Look at that. It dropped 600 points in 24 hours. Low, 5,092, 51.30. So it looks like it's flattened for now. The last, go back an hour. But it's still on a downward trend though. I wouldn't buy anything yet. Last 2 hours. It's still 2 hours in the red. 4 hours. The last 4 hours though has been in the green. I wouldn't buy anything yet. No, this isn't showing me my Bollinger bars. Let me look at the last 24-hour gain. Nasdaq coin, Factum, any coins of importance. Tether, of course. Stable coins, of course. Bitcoin Gold, Ripple, negative 3%. So Ripple's not getting hit as hard on this one, this downturn. But did they get hit? What's the worst performing? Metaverse, 35% down. Mithril, 21% down. Any top coins? iCoin is down 20%. Ox, 19. Saya Coin, 18. Steam, 17%. Verge, 16. PoonDX, 16. Basic Attention, 15. Electroneum, 15. Electroneum's almost less than a penny. Interesting. Well, this is uncharted territory. I'm going to need to read the news to be able to give my opinion on this. The only thing I can think of is what's going on with Bitcoin Cash, fight between Roger Ver and Craig Wright, and investors after that hard fork acting a little skittish right now because of the mining pools. So let's read the news. The market cap of the world's leading cryptocurrency has established its new yearly bottom. Bitcoin on Monday continued its downtrend, and its valuation dropped to a new bearish low at $92.53 billion, $92 billion. At the same time, the price of the digital currency fell to an average of 5,300 according to aggregate data available at coinmarketcap.com. Overall, the bearish action intensified the possibility of Bitcoin establishing a double bottom anytime this year. As reported on CCN last week, the forking of Bitcoin Cash has turned out to be the main catalyst behind, there you go. So what did I say? I said, I think it has something to do with the fork. So they think the fork was the major catalyst behind the market-wide downtrend. Bitcoin is an asset that is more stuck inside unwelcomed negativity, especially when the chief of a big mining company decided to reallocate their Bitcoin Cash power to support Bitcoin ABC. Remember I said that last week. I said, now you got miners splitting with each other. They all used to mine Bitcoin Cash, and now they split it up between Bitcoin Cash ABC and Bitcoin Cash SV. What is my printer doing? All right. While the trend should live for short, It has left a big dent on the face of the entire crypto market, which now appears more unstable to potential investors than ever. Analysts now forecast an extended downside run for Bitcoin. Leading crypto pundits Willy Woo and Crypto Rand believe that the digital currency could drop further towards the $4,500, $5,000 range. The prediction via Bitcoin MBT ratio, which divides the digital currency's market cap by its average daily volume, is also bearish. It plays into a narrative of Bitcoin doubling down its value in the near-term future. A different analysis by Bitcoin bull Tom Lee predicts Bitcoin to reach 15,000 by the end of this year, calling the after effects Bitcoin Cash forking short-term. However, Fundstrat founder has deviated away from its $25,000 prediction made earlier this year, indicating that it's going to change every time in the face of new fundamentals. Technical outlook. The latest price action does not surprise CCN's technical outlook. It had predicted that Bitcoin price would attempt to retest its previous low, or the lower trend line of the current falling wedge formation at most. There is a strong likelihood that bulls will try a strong upside correction, giving adequate long opportunities towards the level mentioned via the Fibonacci retracement graph in the chart below. All right, let's read this chart. You got the Bollinger Bars all headed downward. And this is going over since April all the way to now. You got your spikes, buy, sell, a little bit of buy, sell, buy, sell, 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 buy, sell. I should be buying here, selling here. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. August, we had a spike. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is when things really went haywire. And then boom, drop. Going on, Stacy. A further breakdown from here could bring the Bitcoin market towards the bearish targets of prominent analysts as mentioned above. Therefore, $5,000 serves as a potential primary downside target should the price break below the lowest trend line of the falling wedge formation. Let me see, it's Cryptopia. Let me look at the buy orders and sell orders. So all the buy orders now are right at that. Whoa, somebody's got buy orders at, oh yeah, this is a setup here. There's buy orders as low as 1,000. I wonder how long this has been here. Oh, I'm looking at Cryptopia, that's why. You see at the top, 5,100, 5,000. Sell orders row. Yeah, but I'm looking at Cryptopia. That's not a good indicator. Anything changed since then? Last price, 51.34. What is CoinMarketCap saying? 51.03. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next article. Talk about Roger Ver and Craig Wright. So who are these guys? You keep hearing their names. No, these are gentlemen that were there pretty much at the beginning of Bitcoin's development, which meant they actually had a hand in the scaling of Bitcoin by leading different groups of what's called miners that create the blockchain. And this is I want to call them an elite group of people, but these early birds were the ones that took the biggest risk when it came to Bitcoin. They also got the biggest rewards. And they made a whole lot of money because they had more Bitcoin than everybody else. And when they saw the success of Bitcoin, they started their own companies. Even some of them started their own coins. And they have the biggest mining pool for hash rate. And whenever a new update or upgrade needs to take place, they all vote on it. It's called consensus. And if they're not all in line, and they cannot come up with the agreement, then a fork happens, which means the Bitcoin program, and understand, Bitcoin is not an actual coin. It's algorithm. It's like looking at the matrix. That's really what it is. It's the closest thing I could think of it as. Is an algorithm, mathematical numbers, and programming. And when one group decides to go in one direction for programming, and the other group goes into a different direction, you have a split. That's how Bitcoin split from Bitcoin Cash. Now they share the same history up until the point of that split. Sometimes the split can be positive. A lot of times it can be negative. So the developers in Bitcoin Cash, and this is why I say it's negative, the people behind Bitcoin Cash believe that that is the real Bitcoin. They're not the so-called strict condition. What's the word? If you look at the Constitution, and you've got those that believe that the Constitution is a living document that changes over time to adapt to the changes throughout history. Then you have those that are strict constructionalists that believe the Constitution is and always will be as meant to be when it was first written. Both sides are right and wrong. You got to go with the intent of the founding fathers. But let's also not forget that the founding fathers didn't believe that African Americans were even people, and that it didn't apply to them, nor did they believe women had the right to vote. So if we go with strict constructionalism, there'd still be slaves and women would still be in the kitchen and doing nothing else. And there are those that believe that. But then when you look at the living document that's supposed to adapt with history and time, then that can be taken advantage of and taken a little bit too far. So same thing happens in the crypto space, whereas Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper is seen as gospel. But some believe that not even Satoshi envisioned what Bitcoin actually could end up being. So it needs to have adjustments made. It needs to be able to scale. It only has 1 megabyte for the blockchain. That's not enough. So Bitcoin Cash came about. So I'm trying to paint a picture here without taking too much time. So hopefully you get that picture, why there's two groups. But the group in Bitcoin Cash, if they're infighting with each other and going to fork again, that's good for Bitcoin. Because now people are like, I'm going back to the most stable, Bitcoin. And then you got the Bitcoin Cash people that were there from the beginning of Bitcoin that wield a lot of influence. Roger Ver, Craig Wright. That's not good for Bitcoin Cash. They're splitting their community. And you got one of them, Craig Wright, running around calling himself Satoshi Nakamoto. And he is a genius. But he just seems to be a little bit crazy. So let's read this article. This is also why, ladies and gentlemen, education is key and important. You know who these players are. A new video released by Bitcoin.com puts their CEO, Roger Ver, firmly in the camp of people who do not believe that Craig Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto. I don't even know why this is even a debate. Craig If you're going to claim you're Satoshi Nakamoto, move one Bitcoin from the wallet. You got 1 million Bitcoin in the wallet, just move one. If not, sit down and shut up. That's what I'd say. But that's me. I like calling people out. There appeared in the video with lawyer Daniel Kellner, you got a lawyer involved now, to discuss the goings-on of Bitcoin Cash following the hard fork that took place last Friday. Several shots were fired at the Bitcoin SV camp, the first of which was related to the stability of the other Bitcoin Cash fork. There said that he was 100% in favor of locking down the protocol so that businesses can build on and rely upon it, and that while the SV folks, e.g. Craig Wright and Calvin Ayre, were good at saying the same thing, their actions spoke to the opposite. Do you see what he just said there? What do I always say? Never listen to what people say. Follow what they do. He just said it. They're good at saying stuff, but their actions is the opposite. The pair reported that the difficulty of Bitcoin Cash ABC is about 53% more than the difficulty of Bitcoin SV, which demonstrates that much more hash power is being directed at the one than the other. Difficulty retargets faster in Bitcoin Cash than it does in regular Bitcoin, and it increases the more miners are attempting to find block rewards. There addressed the continuing angst in the wider Bitcoin community against Bitcoin Cash, saying that people should redirect their ire toward fiat money, which manipulates billions of people all over the world. That's true, but it ain't gonna happen. Most people around the world are ignorant about how money works in the first place, so expecting them to all of a sudden be upset is not gonna happen. Stick with reality here. Why are you mad at any digital currencies? Be mad at the fiat currencies that are used to manipulate people all over the world. That's the currency you should be mad at, not at Bitcoin Cash. Well, Roger, I'm sorry. You can't make that argument until everybody can go to the grocery store and buy milk with Bitcoin Cash. Otherwise, kind of shut up on that. That's not an argument you want to make. There also noted that many exchanges have gone as far as listing the Bitcoin ABC fork as the official BCH symbol. Oh, now that's a fight too. So BCH, which one is it? Is it SV or is it ABC? So if you have different exchanges mixing it up, that's confusing. Let me read that again. Many exchanges have listed Bitcoin ABC as the official BCH, meaning that SV tokens will be the outlier on those exchanges. He also specifically stated that his intention to sell off his SV tokens, which would be significant. I wonder if this is an inside setup. Okay, I just want you, I follow the money here. If you own Bitcoin Cash, when there's a fork, you're going to have an equal amount of coins of the new coin. This guy has millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin Cash. When the fork happens, he now has an equal amount of coins in the new one. And he decides to just sell them all off, but stick with his Bitcoin Cash coin. He now has millions of dollars in cash and still has all his Bitcoin Cash coins. Man, I'm still looking at him skeptically as well, even though I don't like Craig Wright. Because they're no longer a Wright believer. But the most interesting part of the video appears later on, beginning when Ver notes a recent allegedly signed message from Satoshi Nakamoto. Really? Decrying segregated witness. The alleged message has a questionable cryptographic signature, which at least one person who appears to know what they're talking about says anyone can do. Kelman says that, in his opinion, the only valid signature would use the Genesis block of the Bitcoin blockchain, something which everyone is 100% sure was mined by the creator of Bitcoin himself. There added that at this point, as Vitalik Buterin, who is the founder of Ethereum, famously said, "It doesn't matter if Craig Wright is Satoshi or not. I think it does." And I'm going to explain my opinion in a moment. Like Vitalik Buterin said, if it turned out that Craig were Satoshi, that would just lower my opinion of Satoshi at this point. I agree with that. It's not going to change Bitcoin. However, it now moves the focus from Bitcoin onto Craig Wright. And that I don't like. You know that old saying, you never want to meet your heroes, because they're flawed as well. They're human beings. They have issues. And you think of them as just this perfect individual out there. If Craig Wright turns out to be Satoshi, I think it's going to hurt the entire movement short term. Not long term, but short term. And that everything this clown does, the media and everybody against Bitcoin will use him as an example of why Bitcoin is not going to work. So from there, Bear says that he has already thanked whoever Satoshi was for what they created. True. And Craig, if you did play a role or part in that, thank you for that. If you did, I don't know. I'm pretty damn skeptical at this point, but truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. But I don't think he did. That's my opinion. If you want to prove otherwise, just sign something with the Genesis block. It's that freaking simple. There had previously been open to the idea that Craig Wright was Satoshi Nakamoto, but more recently, he has walked back his support of Craig Wright, saying recently that he could have been fooled. He, of course, was not the only person to buy into the idea. Former Bitcoin Core lead developer Gavin Andresen famously backed Wright as Satoshi when he first came out as such, and later recanted his statement, calling it a mistake. This is a video I'm going to watch later, because I still believe, because of what these guys are doing, we've got massive market manipulation taking place. I'm going to give my opinion on that in a second. For the last article, Ripple overtakes Ethereum with ease as Ethereum plunges 10%. So what's going on with Ethereum directly? Over the last 24 hours, Ripple has fallen by 9.5% against the US dollar. Still, it overtook Ethereum to become the second most valuable cryptocurrency in the global market. On November 17th, Ripple recorded an increase in value of around 8% during a period in which most major cryptocurrencies, including both Bitcoin and Ethereum, struggled to maintain momentum. The short-term rally of Ripple on Saturday allowed it to take a lead over Ethereum, comfortably surpassing Ethereum with a market cap of $19.1 billion. As of November 19th, the market cap of Ethereum remains at $15.92 billion. In August, Sam Mackingvale, a product lead at Coinbase Custody, stated that the company is exploring the addition of many major cryptocurrencies and ERC20 tokens to its custodian solution, targeted at institutional investors. Coinbase Custody is exploring the addition of many existing and forthcoming crypto assets for storage only, and will be working to add them as quickly and safely as possible. At this time, we have not yet considered these assets for trading. We are making this announcement internally at Coinbase and to the public at the same time to remain transparent with our customers about support for future assets, Mackingvale wrote. Earlier this month, Coinbase Custody integrated Ripple to its custodial platform. That's another thing. You would think when it hit on Coinbase, it would skyrocket, enabling institutionals to purchase and hold Ripple with Coinbase as the trusted custodian. Currently, the U.S. SEC is in the midst of cracking down on ICO projects for issuing digital assets that are considered securities under existing regulations. The SEC has not cleared Ripple as a non-security, and as of November 19th, only Bitcoin and Ethereum remain cleared by the SEC. Hence, the integration of Ripple by exchanges like Gemini and Coinbase Pro is expected to be prolonged until a more comprehensive guideline by the SEC is released. The integration of Ripple into Coinbase custody was still a positive development for Ripple, as it opened the asset to a new group of investors outside of the public cryptocurrency exchange market. Meanwhile, sell pressure on Ethereum continued to grow as ICOs held a big chunk of their Ethereum. Oh, okay, I'm getting it now. The light bulb just went off in my head. If the SEC is cracking down on ICOs are not coming to development, and the 90% of all ICOs are using the Ethereum blockchain, the ERC20 token. Therefore, they're going to have a drop in volume. That makes sense. As former DR chief editor Larry Cermak said, there is a big misconception that ICO companies have liquidated most of their ETH holdings. On average, all of these projects have moved or liquidated 62% of the amount that they initially raised. In other words, they are still holding 38% of the initially raised amounts. To fund their operations, ICO projects have consistently sold ETH in the public exchange market, amounting to millions of dollars, intensifying sell pressure on ETH. So where is the market heading? Technical indicators are showing no signs of a bottom, and volume is declining. The conditions of the market are subpar, and in the short term, it is not likely to see a swift recovery of the crypto market above the $200 billion mark. That's interesting. He's saying that in the short term, we're not going to see this hit back to the $200 billion mark. Let me refresh. He also states that it's still sliding. $5,100 right now. It was the last price, $5,121. And that it might take a while. And you know what I think? I'm popping champagne bottles right now. I hope, and I know hope isn't a strategy, I wish that this continues to drop and it stays low for a long time, at least another year. Why? Brown, are you crazy? Don't we want Bitcoin to go up? Don't we want Bitcoin to rise? I'm telling you right now, the Winklevoss twins, Tim Draper, Mike Novogratz, they're not even sweating the current price of Bitcoin. It's irrelevant to them. They've been holding Bitcoin for years. They're looking at the long-term effect of where Bitcoin is going to be. They're long-term holders. You may hear me say all the time, I do not buy Bitcoin. I earn Bitcoin. So I'm not sweating the current assets that I have dropping in value because I wasn't pulling it out anyway. I wasn't selling anyway. And the more money that I make, or let me rephrase that, the more Bitcoin that I earn at lower rates is going to give me more value long term when it comes up. It allows us to start hoarding our crypto. Now more people are being able to buy it and can afford to own one whole Bitcoin, two whole, three whole, 10 whole Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes down to $1,000 and $1,500, there is going to be so much outcry from those that are not educated. They're going to think that a crash is taking place, and they're going to sell all their Bitcoin. And the rest of us who aren't educated are going to buy all that Bitcoin. What did the gentleman, when I was at the Crypto Invest Summit, he flipped 400,000 into 50 million in 6 months. What did he say? He said, education's the key, guys. Most of these people around here are uneducated. I'm going to take all their coins. And he didn't go into details. He didn't need to. I know what he's saying. When the market drops that low, and I don't know if it will go that low, but if it goes that low again, and we're going all the way back now to April, May numbers of 2017, all the uneducated folk are going to sell, scream bloody murder. It's shaking the trees. It's the people who have no business being in this space are going to be out, and the real investors are going to come in, buy it all up, and they're going to snap that rubber band, and it's going to shoot back up to 20K and beyond. I want to ride that rocket. So yeah, I am not sweating the price of Bitcoin going down. The only thing I am sweating now is that, we did this Bitcoin giveaway in Chicago, $1,500. Well, now I'm going to end up paying out more money than $1,500 because the price of Bitcoin dropped on me. So that's all right. That's how the game is. That's how the territory works. It goes up, it goes down. So anyways, what can you guys do right now when all this is taking place? Well, one, I'm glad I own some GreenX mining rigs because I bought them with Bitcoin. So now my value is sitting in those rigs that's already creating coins for me every single month, instead of me losing the value that I had sitting in Bitcoin with the value coming down right now. Invest in your education. That's the first thing. Invest in your education. And Shane West, I have a job for you. It's not a challenge. Shane sits on one of the largest organizations within KGX in Chicago. I forgot to ask this question to the audience when I was on the panel. How many of you own green machines? Raise your hand. And a lot of the people in the crowd would have raised their hand. The next question is, how many of you know what to do when you get the coins in your green wallet and they're on we're on the exchange? 90% of them would have dropped their hand. So Shane, here is your job to do. Learn everything about Cryptopia on the exchanges on how to move coins from your wallet onto the exchanges, sell, and then move them back to your wallet. And then you're going to be the one to teach and train all of those people in Chicago. Get with Dr. Lewis, Barry, have set up private meetings in Dr. Lewis's office or at Dusty's. Have everybody who bought a machine come in and walk them through that process. You do this, you're going to help create millionaires. If you don't do this, and these people have no idea what they're doing, they're going to start screaming bloody murder because they can't figure out how to get their money, and they're going to be blowing you guys up at the last minute. You want to be proactive and do this ahead of time. Just like what we did in my suite, because Shane was there. We went over it with all the leaders, how to do this process, so that you guys can go back and take it back to your people who you sold green machines to. So, all right, that is it for Early Morning Crypto Talk. I will be back tonight at 8 p.m. because we have a special update call with co-owner Mike Boggs at 9 p.m. Eastern on kgxglobal.info. So you don't want to miss that one. But at 8 p.m., I'll do another late night crypto talk. Or I might do it afterwards. We'll see. Either way, you guys have a great day. I am about to, first thing I do, I count off this, I'm going to the gym. I need to work off Dusty's. Man, I can't tell you how many plates I ate. I need to, my stomach's letting me know I need to work this thing off. And then I'm coming back home and I'm going to work. I got two green rigs I'm selling. We got some new people joining the business. It's time to go to work. It's time. Let's end this year out strong. We're talking less than what, 45 days to the end of the year. Some of you can easily make 10, 15, $20,000 in the next 45 days. Who wants it? Let's go to work. All right. Goodbye, everybody. See you all later. Bye-bye.